Hey guys, I hope you're having an amazing day. Thank you so much for joining me. Today is Wednesday, February 10th. It's been an extremely busy day, guys. So I woke up an hour before my home health care nurse was supposed to get here, which is usually, like a decent amount of time because I only need like 20 minutes to put on my port cream and, I just like to get in my morning meds and breakfast before she gets here. Except for I ended up getting a phone call. It was definitely a good one, but it took a little bit more time, so I was cutting it so super close. I basically got off the phone and like within a few minutes she was here, just in the nick of time. So I was able to schedule an appointment finally with the geneticist. They said they would see me not based off my Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, but based off of the Theo. Apparently, the location where I am at, most of these doctors I am hearing are not taking Ehlers-Danlos patients anymore unless you can prove you have Ehlers-Danlos related cardiac issues. Now, the only thing is if these people are supposed to be helping you to diagnose it, you cannot prove it without good documentation. And without somebody else like giving the diagnosis, your doctor likely is just going to say suspected EDS. So these rules, in my personal opinion, do not make any sense, but I don't have a choice but to follow them. I don't think that I have strong enough documentation to get help with my EDS. But at the same time, it's not really a huge deal because EDS is symptom management. My doctors are aware that I was diagnosed, but that physician his documentation, I just wanted it to be a little bit more clear, if I'm honest with you. He was not very clear and he was not very helpful. When he told me that I had the EDS and the HHT, I was simply told they didn't really know what to do or what to make of me, but I should Google it and figure out which steps, the appropriate next steps to take, which is always a really fun response. I did not see that one coming, obviously. So the bottom line is I am getting in based off my Theo, not the EDS. If they're able to help me with the EDS, I'm definitely going to mention it. That's wonderful, and I'm super thankful. But if they can't, that's truly okay. We have bigger fish to fry, you know what I mean? So that's in March, so I will keep you guys updated. I had an allergist appointment this afternoon, but I decided to reschedule just due to all of the chaos. I was thankfully able to reschedule for Friday, so it's not super far out, which is super amazing because this woman actually knows what mast cell is. I'm not going to put too much into the appointment. I don't want to get my hopes skyrocketed high. I want to be very realistic with this appointment. I know that I'm extraordinarily complex and there's a good chance that she's not going to be comfortable with my case, and if that is how things play out, that's okay. But I want to be told up front. I don't want to be told that, oh, we're going to handle this and figure it out together, only to be told 3 months from now, I don't feel comfortable with your case, I'm done. I don't want to go through that again. I just need somebody who's willing to stick it out with me a little bit longer, and to perhaps do research if we need to, or reach out to another hospital if needed, or another team of doctors. I just need, obviously, an allergist to walk with me through this all. So those were the things before my nurse got here. Nurse came, we did not get a blood pressure reading, but I'm accessed, so I am happy. I was not able to do any saline today. I've had really awful chills, and right now I'm super itchy. Oh my gosh, it's so annoying. So yeah, the chills is why I decided. I was feeling like my temperature was starting to drop, which I should have checked, but I didn't. And I didn't want to end up dealing with a super low temp, because sometimes it's really hard to bring it back up. So I decided we're gonna wait on the saline. We'll do that tomorrow. It is what it is, Gotta just work with things the best that you can. I've still been pretty tight. No migraine though today, which is great. But I've been in a Theo episode since 10 or so, I want to say. So I've been going through all the sweating. The anxiety just started getting, it's been here all day, but it just started getting super bad a few minutes ago. And I feel like I want to panic. I don't even know what about though. Like, I'm not like anxious like about a specific thing. I just feel anxious. But like, I think too, it's as, you know, like your mind processes stuff, like your subconscious and all those other nifty things that we forget to consider, you know. And of course, like just all the symptoms and stuff, like my body's still been under a ton of stress. Today, my body decided it was time to have the runs again. I don't really know what's going on. It's only been a day. It was like, I guess you could say moderate. I was in there less than 20 times, I would say. So that's real good. Probably about only 10. So like for me, that's not like awful. It's not something that I'm going to go call my doctor about. Like it's pretty close to like when I'm starting to get sick, like I'm in the bathroom a ton. So again, it is what it is. I've been pretty nauseous today, pretty itchy. I'm going really numb. So just lots of different things. Off and on, like I feel like I have a little bit of energy, and then off and on I feel like super weak and like I either want to collapse or just sleep like forever. And then we've been still dealing, like you all know, like with tons of seizures. Yesterday I had more than today at this time. So I think yesterday by like the afternoon I had already had like 3 or so. Today I've had 1, so that's super awesome. I'm really, really thankful for that. I did speak with my endocrinologist, and at first he was like, is this really a problem? I was like, yes it is, because let me map this out for you. Okay, this is a big issue because we were told something different and I'm extremely symptomatic. So after that he was like, okay, yeah, like we obviously need to figure this out. He's just one of those people, like he just says what pops in his head the first second. Sometimes you need to not do that. You need to like think before letting it all flow. And I know how he is, so it doesn't really bother me. We're just always kind of all over. This time the appointment was, I think, about an hour and a half, so it wasn't terribly long. I have had appointments with him where it's like 2.5, 3 hours. It's a little bit crazy and it's a lot on my body, but we got to do what we got to do. I need to start obviously working towards answers and dissecting this and figuring it out. So the current plan of action is we are going to have a team of radiologists where he's at, which is outside the hospital. Another big like facility. I have several doctors there, and he's going to have their team of radiologists take a look. Some of them are adrenal gland like specialists, and they're really good at that type of stuff. So they're going to go ahead and take a look first at my images and all the CT stuff. And then Friday or so, we're going to go and have labs redrawn to see if we're able to catch some of those hormones and figure out what's going on. It's very nerve-wracking because I do know for a fact that it can come out that it's okay and there can still be, you know, something in there that's not quite as active as, you know, he's thinking. I mean, he's expecting something huge like how I was in the spring. I don't really think whatever's going on is quite that drastic. I don't believe if there's another tumor that it is that big. But at the same time, a little tumor is still a problem. And then at the same time, with the Theo, the type of tumor I had, just those cells can wreak havoc in a person's body. So there's just so many things to consider, so many things to dissect at this point. And it's really hard because obviously like all I can do is try my hardest to be patient and let things play out, which is really hard because, you know, after going through so much and so much going on, you just kind of want to know, okay, like what is the issue here? Because I told him, I said, we need to figure out if it's a Theo tumor type issue, if it's like, say, genetic mutation with a disease that is causing the Theos. If that is flaring, that would be completely different than, say, like my IBD flaring or like my gastroparesis or like my EDS, my mast cell, like all those things. Like everything is very different. So we need to get a handle on this. This way I can try to get a handle on stuff in general, because without this knowledge, we're stuck. I would say about half of my doctors have been alerted at this point. They're all very alarmed. They're all pretty upset. And nobody's really sure how to proceed at this point. He's going to reach out to the surgeon. Nobody has a super detailed report about my surgery, which is highly, highly, highly concerning, especially the way that things have played out. They're supposed to be like documenting literally everything. Nobody has that. We don't know if the report just does not exist or has it been hidden. I don't really know what to think at this point. My doctors are, though, warning me. One could say that this could shape up to be malpractice. We're very early in. Definitely don't want to think of that yet, but we will definitely see. Again, though, like we've went over so many reports, and I went over the report again this morning with my nurse, the one that I have on hand, which is just the pathology report. And it does clearly state again that the adrenal gland, all of it, was removed, including the portion that is in my body. It is clearly labeled and the specimens are there, so it's extremely confusing and extremely concerning, obviously. So, okay guys, thank you so very much from the bottom of my heart for watching this video. I'll keep you all up to date. I'm obviously going back to vlogging a little bit more regularly. This way there's not like so much to shove into like one vlog. I don't like to feel like I'm super rushed or anything. So, with that being said, I'm going to end the video here. I hope you all are having a fantastic day, and we'll see you soon.